This is probably going to be one of the more controversial videos I've ever done, and I think that's over-exaggerating a little bit, but still, it's one of my more tea-worthy videos, to say the least. Okay, seriously, with the amount of notes that I have right now, honey boo boo, oh my goodness gracious. See, I wasn't joking, I look like a freaking news reporter. Look at this, look at this. This was just all done last night, and I'm not even sorry about it. What's going on, my pretty pandas? It's your huggable hipster here, and welcome back to the Tea Talk, where we talk about the latest in gaming news, YouTube news, and the things that I find interesting. How today I'm not having hot tea, I'm having cold tea. Snapple, hashtag not sponsored, hashtag pink, hashtag I love it. Okay, so we're gonna talk about something that I actually mentioned on, I didn't fully mention it, but I hinted at it. We're gonna talk about the stream that Mark did, the four and a half, I believe, hours of streaming that Mark did. And in particular, the last 33 seconds of the live stream, which it's not just the last 33 seconds. I feel like the entire stream was just a lot. There was a lot of emotion there. There was a lot of chaos. There was a lot of cluster F-ness, if you will. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to be going by what I have on the notes, which is things that are for the game, against the game, for Mark, against Mark, because I feel like having that balanced out and not just having a biased opinion, it's necessary. Okay, I also want to point out before we get into this that the game that I'm talking about, just in case you guys didn't see Mark's live stream, is Welcome to the Game 2. Welcome to the Game 2 is from Reflect Studios, and I actually remember playing their game Rides with Strangers. Rides with Strangers was so good. I have it on my channel if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, it was a really well thought out game. I really enjoyed it. A lot of people are asking me, am I going to be playing Welcome to the Game and Welcome to the Game 2? I'm tempted to. There are two sides of me that want to play it, but don't want to play it because it also looks extremely aggravating. I want to play it because it's a very unique concept about the dark web, also known as the deep web. I'm really interested in that kind of stuff, so to have a game where you're not getting in trouble for going into the deep web, I find it fairly entertaining and really interesting, and it's something that I'm going to look more into if I do decide to play it. And I also want to mention that Jack and PewDiePie have also played this game. PewDiePie, I don't think, but I'm not certain if he has played Welcome to the Game 2. I looked it up and I didn't see any playthrough of that game from him, but I saw Jack play through, I think, the first portion of Welcome to the Game, the first game, and he just got frustrated with it and he didn't want to complete it. But I know Mark has finished the first game of Welcome to the Game 1, and then 2 he didn't finish because of what we are about to get into right now. So get your Red Bull, hold on to your seats, kiddies, because we're going for a ride. First off, I want to talk about the points against the game, then we're going to go into some more things that I really found interesting about the game that I want to discuss. During the stream, I saw that you were waiting, especially during the stream, I saw that Mark was waiting for over 5 minutes in the shower for Lucas. That sounds kind of weird. He was waiting for 5 minutes for Lucas. Where was he? Also, Lucas, I'm sorry, but he looks like Agent 47. I don't understand. Maybe it's just me, but he looks like Agent 47. And there were no cues. There were no things that were like a ticking clock or something. And I realize this game is meant to be difficult. It's a very difficult game from what I've been told and from the videos that I have seen on the gameplay. But I feel like it's supposed to give you at least a little bit of wiggle room, and for me, I'm not one to have someone hold my hand during a video game and be like, this is what you have to do in order to succeed, you the cutie pootie. I'm not about that life. As you guys know, during Emily Wants to Play, I only looked up a guide, I think, once, and that was to find out what to do for Max Steel. And that was it. That was it for the entire gameplay. And even Emily Wants to Play, that wasn't a difficult game. It got frustrating at points, but it wasn't difficult. With this game, I feel as if I were to play this game, I would become extremely frustrated. Not Markiplier frustrated, but frustrated. And whenever I get frustrated, I become silent. I don't talk at all, so that would be a very weird gameplay to see. For me, I feel as if you shouldn't have to be waiting, and he didn't know that he had to wait for 5 minutes. And in the game, you can also use your mic as well, which is a really good point that I want to mention about the game, is that you can integrate your mic, and I thought that, oh, whoa, that gives a little more of a real-life sense to it, which I thought was a really cool quality. But waiting 5 minutes when you don't know you have to wait that long, I feel that's kind of I don't know. It's unsettling, and I feel like it's kind of weird to have that kind of mechanic. And you know what? Maybe it was Lucas. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe that's one of the points I heard Mark make in the live stream. That maybe it was someone else. Maybe it was the people with the masks. You know, you don't know if it was Lucas or not. That's the thing. I also put on my notes that I saw Mark check the window. Why would a randomly generated kill happen? And for those who want to check the time on the video of the live stream, there is a point in which he checks the windows, he checks the doors, you know, he checks everything. And then after that, he still gets killed. Maybe he was supposed to turn off the lights? I'm not too sure about that. I'm not well versed in the game, considering I haven't played it myself. But I feel like that's what he was supposed to do. I'm not entirely sure. But to have such a randomly generated kill like that, I feel is unnecessary. And another thing that I thought was interesting, that he kind of skims over, but it's not really a big topic within the stream, is that he thought that he lost a hack whenever he went in, and apparently he won the hack. I don't know if that's just a glitch or if that's something that it was supposed to happen at a certain point. Keep in mind, you guys, with certain video games, certain things that you don't think are supposed to happen are actually meant to happen, and vice versa. So with that, I'm not sure if it was intentional or not. And then, you know, just like the little random things, like whenever you went into the game one time, like everything was completely blurry. I had my glasses on, so I was like, oh, okay, I don't know, I can't, I know things look blurry, but they're supposed to be clear, and that's just like a little nitpick of mine. Keep in mind, I did work for a gaming company for a year and a half, so there are things that I do know about, which actually people were telling me, you know, you don't know what you're talking about and all that kind of stuff. But now we're gonna go on some, onto some things regarding Mark's attitude. If the company is watching this, I greatly appreciate you watching this until the end, because there are things I'm going to say about your game that you might appreciate, and there are things I'm going to say about Mark's behavior that lacks desirability. But again, anybody who's watching this video, please watch until the end, and don't make snap decisions based on the things that I say, and, you know, just keep your minds open. Now we're going to go into Mark's behavior, and I feel as if he gets upset way too easily. We all know this about Mark. We all know that he got really pissed off whenever it was Ben and Ed. Oh my god, do you guys remember Ben and Ed? Or I Am Bread. He broke a controller over I Am Bread. And also, what was it? It was not a stick game. It was one of those games where you had to control the character's movements very precisely through a racing track. I know you guys know which game I'm talking about, but if I find the name of the game, I will put it down in the description below, or even, I don't even have to put it there, I just forget the name of the game that he was playing. Because of that, he threw a chair across the room. We are not new to Mark's outbursts, if you will, okay? That's just, you know, he's a dramatic pup. You know, he does a lot of things that over-dramatize a situation more so than it needs to be. That being said, he said things in the heat of the moment because he was frustrated about a game. Does that give him the right to call out the devs on the things that they did in the game, or things that that Mark didn't like? It does. And I fully stand by that, because when you're running a business and when you're selling a game to the masses, you expect any kind of feedback, whether it's good or bad. I feel as if so many people, and I'm not talking about Mark right now, so many people who saw his behavior and then mirrored it by sending nasty messages to the devs and all that kind of stuff, that's what's wrong. That's what's wrong. And I feel as if whenever you take someone's feelings into consideration, you need to also be clear about the fact that, hey, I know they're human, I know they're running a business, but they're also selling a product. And that's the main thing that I want to get at. If you're selling a product, expect the best and expect the worst, because you're going to get the best and you're going to get the worst. I've got it, okay, from my YouTube channel, through things that I've done throughout my entire life. You get the good, you get the bad, you get the okay, you know, it's just a part of life. And I feel as if this company, while they have made a really great game with Ride with Strangers, I really love that game so much, but with Welcome to the Game and Welcome to the Game 2, I feel like there is a lot that makes it more frustrating than enjoyable. That's my opinion. I've seen other people have the same opinion, but still, that's my own opinion on it. Now, should he have bluntly called out the developer? I have two minds about this. And when I'm thinking about, like I said, the developer's feelings. So, should he have called him out? He's the one who made the game. Yes. Also, people think that he was being rude. I've seen Mark's content since 2013. He's sarcastic and he's over the top, like I stated. He will make things more over-dramatized, or dramatized, rather, than they actually are. The fact that he didn't enjoy the game, that's him. That's his opinion. The fact that people are coming at him, which it's causing more drama for the developer than it is for Mark, because Mark has over 20 million subscribers. I know Jack has over 18, 19 million whenever he played the game, the first one, and PewDiePie has over 60 million, 61 million subscribers. Holy moly. So everybody is giving their own different opinions. Some opinions are more liked than the others. And if the developer were to come out and be angry about this because only one person stated what Mark stated, then yeah, I would understand the developer getting angry and getting, upset over everything like that. But multiple people have come out and stated the things that they didn't like about the game, and some of them were really similar. Some of them were strikingly similar. If people are saying similar things about your game that needs work, I think that's a strong indicator that you need to work on the game. And we're going to talk about the big thing. This is the big thing that got everybody so incredibly pissed off. And this is going to be the part where people hate me. Where he said, "I hope you enjoy the sales from me pushing your game." I got a T-sip. Hold on a second. While I can understand why the developer might think that is coming off as rude, does the developer understand the fact that in order to make a successful game, you have to create sales? You have to create an audience. He created an audience through other people, through people playing his games. Mark has played the developer's games. PewDiePie has played the developer's games. Jack has played the developer's games. Daz Black has played the developer's games. People of, I would say, higher recognition on YouTube have played this developer's games. This is not me calling the developer out. This is me simply stating that if someone of such a high, persona is gonna play your game, and if he has an opinion on it, and if he bought your game, which I don't know if the developer sent the game to him or Mark bought it on his own accord. If the developer sent the game to him, then that is not warranted, what Mark said. It really isn't. But if Mark bought the game on his own accord, he did push sales towards your game. I feel as if whenever you are talking about marketing and sales and all the hubbubaloo that comes with the territory, you are discussing the sales that have been brought to you from another person who is high ranking on YouTube. And it's not just Mark, it's Jack and PewDiePie who played your game too. I mean, that's the shocking thing. And if the developer wants to get upset about it, that's cool, that's fine. I really honestly, I don't think it's professional. I understand the hurt that he kind of feels, because it's a project that you work on, and it's a project that you feel very passionate about, and it's something that you don't want to see put to the sidelines. You want to see it become this big successful thing that comes to fruition and that everybody will enjoy. That wasn't the case for some people. So take into consideration what might needs to be fixed. Take into consideration all of the things that people have discussed, and then you'll understand your game and your audience a lot better. And we're going to go into the last point in Mark's attitude, where he called the game a chore, and by looking at the game, it kind of does. Like, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I love games that are difficult, and I love games that have an enjoyable plotline, but seeing all the things that you have to do within this game in order to get to the finish line, it just looks like, you won't gain a lot of satisfaction. You might have momentary satisfaction from getting a certain part, or I don't know, getting a certain hack or whatever it may be, but I don't feel as if this game is meant to be enjoyable. I think it's meant to be something that you have to figure out. It's more of like you are actually the person who is going into the deep web and figuring out all these hacks and doing all of these things. But yeah, I don't feel as if, you know, even Mark looking up the wiki pages, not the wiki pages, walkthroughs for the game. Granted, there are people who are able to figure it out and understand it and everything. There are different levels of a person where they become frustrated with the game, or they can play right through it and not get frustrated. And that's the thing that I really want to drive home, is that maybe Mark couldn't finish it, but maybe someone else could, and that's not a bad thing. Like, that the main thing about this is not for me to bring hate or, you know, bring anger or frustration or anything like that. It's for me to just show you guys that there are different levels of people, where the people who made the walkthroughs for the game, obviously they enjoyed it and they wanted to play it and they saw it through till the end, so kudos for them. That's awesome. But for Mark and Jack and PewDiePie, some of the highest ranking gamers on YouTube, it wasn't the case. Okay, thank you for interrupting me, kitty. Another part of me is like, if you didn't like it, you shouldn't have played it. But then I also understand that he has an audience that wants him to play it, so that's why he played it. Gosh. And the thing is that, well, the game looks interesting. It looks very well done. The graphics look really great, and it looks like a very intricate story. The process of enjoying the story and playing the game are two completely different things, I feel. If you're going to enjoy the story, the gameplay has to match up with the enjoyment of the story. Like, for example, The Evil Within. I loved playing that game. It has an amazing story and amazing game mechanics. Like, the map was incredible, and the way that you go about playing the game in order to do everything that you need to do to complete and finish everything that you needed to complete synced up together as a whole perfectly. With this game, my opinion, I feel as if it needs a lot more work. It needs a lot more energy and time to focus on not only a good save mechanic, but a better way to make the game not as tedious, if you will. Now, granted, there are a lot of tedious games that are good out there, but I feel as if this one overdoes the tediousness a little bit too much. I was going to discuss some other things in this tea talk, but I feel like this was more important to discuss. The main thing that I want to get at is that you're running a business, you know, you're game developers, and Mark is a YouTuber who has made his living off of playing video games, amongst other things. You have to be able to take the good, the bad, and the okay. I mean, that's what I was taught. I mean, I'm a business owner, I do my own thing. You take the good, the bad, and the okay. And when looking at games, and with the knowledge that I do have from working at a gaming company, there were times when people would state, we don't like your game. You know, can you improve this? Can you possibly work on this? Can you possibly make this a little more smoother, or this a little less glitchier? And the developer would take it into consideration, and he would correct what needed to be corrected according to the criticism that he got, which I absolutely love. I respected that so much. Whenever you see a developer who gets emotionally hurt by an opinion that someone has, whether they be over exaggerating it or not, that's just, you know, to make him the bad person instead of looking at your game might be the bigger issue here. And to reiterate it, you know, the line where he's like, you know, I hope you enjoy the sales I pushed your way for the game. Yes, it sounds like a dick move. It really does. But he's right. He really is right at the end of the day. He really is. I mean, you get sales from the people who buy your game. You get sales from the people who buy your game. Now, like I said, if you sent the game to Mark, and I'm talking to the developer specifically, if you sent the game to Mark, that is a different story entirely, and he had no right to say, I hope you like the sales that I put your way. Even then, millions of people are seeing his video and are buying the game. So technically that is pushing sales your way. it's a truth. It may sound like a really asshole thing to say, but a lot of the times whenever people tell the truth, people don't like it. And I will never understand that. What is it going to be better to lie to someone and say your game just wasn't for them? It made me feel uncomfortable. Oh, I was so scared. Like, I'm sorry I'm sounding, this topic I'm passionate about this topic because they're supposed to speak their mind, whether it be a YouTuber, whether it be a marketer. Yeah, it'll bite you in the butt sometimes if you speak the truth, but overall, if you want to get your opinion out there and have it be truthful, you get your opinion out there. It might not be ideal for a lot of people. In order to be and stay an honest person, tell the truth, even if people don't like it. Okay, that's what I've learned. I used to lie all the time to people and say what they wanted to hear, but it's not the best thing to do. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and say Mark should have done this, Mark should have done that, Mark should have been a little more eloquent in his words. I'm not gonna sit here and say something that I don't believe in. Do I believe he should have acted as over dramatic as he did? It's neither here nor there. We know Mark is a dramatic person. That's how I feel about it. It really is kind of a neutral for me. It's right in the middle where I'm just like, oh, I see him act like that all the time. So for me, I don't care. Should Mark have said what he said about pushing sales towards that person? He was frustrated. He felt like he needed to say that, and it's also truth. So yeah, him, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, the other gamers who have played your game and have a substantial audience, they push sales your way. They have been so frustrated and been so aggravated. We're talking about different people here. If I were playing that game, like I said, I would be in silence and be frustrated. He has a different way of showing his frustration. People are calling him a crap human being now to, mute the words that were actually said, which were kind of nasty. People are calling him a crap human being. People are saying that he's a rude SOB. Like, people are calling him all sorts of names. It comes with being honest about something. I feel like he was being honest, and I don't feel as if he would have put that in a video if it weren't on live stream. Since he was on live stream, you saw a more frustrated side of Mark, and I feel as if that video were edited, you wouldn't have seen him say that. He probably would have had enough time to cool himself down and edit that part out. And that's honestly how I feel about it, because sometimes I will say stupid, just outrageous things in my TikToks, and I'll edit them out because I feel like it wasn't warranted. It wasn't warranted for me to say that. It's not warranted for me to put that out there onto the internet because I don't want to be a negative Nancy. I don't want to be that person. So I take a look back and I edit my thought process and I think, okay, is this something that I really want to say to people? But during a live stream, when it's in the heat of the moment, you're really not thinking about that, and you're really honestly more thinking about the gameplay. You're immersed into it, and your entire thought process revolves around said gameplay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My mind feels so much better that I got that out because it was a topic that I really wanted to discuss since last night. I was really tempted to make the tea talk last night, but like I said, I wanted to have my receipts and I wanted to have my knowledge base covered, so that's why I rewatched the entire 4-hour-long live stream, just so I could be sure that what I was thinking just wasn't a jarbled mess in my head. I could actually like line it out and be like, okay, this is something that we need to discuss. If you guys are here for my content, I really appreciate that. You guys are awesome sauce, but I'm not about dissing people. I'm about being honest. That's who I am as a person. So yeah, if you guys like this video and like what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell down below because I make videos every damn day. Stay casually nerdy, you guys, and I will see you all in Monday's video. Peace.